Hi, everybody. My name is Cheryl, and today we're going to be talking about life events. Just one particular life event, and that will be regarding myself. And we will continue to see that life event change and challenge over the next few episodes as time goes on. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so in November, December, I was cleaning out a three-car garage, trying to get things done, something that my husband couldn't do because I was caring for him because he was ill, and that's a subject we will touch on another um, on another event. So November, December, I'm cleaning out this garage. Late December, early January, I started coughing, and the coughing and then the sneezing. Once it rained, I said, "Oh, okay." So the sneezing, the coughing, okay, typical cold, but the coughing didn't stop. The sneezing didn't stop, and I said, "Okay, my allergy kicked in." So I had a combination over-the-counter stuff that I purchased: Ricola, Vapor, Fix Rub, and stuff for the cough. Well, after about 2.5 weeks now, in the late January, I figured, okay, that's not working out. But the allergy part, it just got worse. Um, so to the point where both my eyes I had like bloodshot eyes, itchy, very itchy. So I gotten some medicine for that. It cleared it up in about 3 to 5 days. Okay, so the eye itching stopped, but the sneezing and the coughing did not. And as I continue to take certain medicine over the counter, and I'm very particular, I don't like to take certain things over the counter too long. So it had already been 2 weeks. So the eye itching, everything was gone, but the running of the nose and everything. I was taking my albuterol and nasal stuff, and so got a hold of my doctor, and she's like, "Oh no, don't take that nasal stuff." And she gave me something that actually worked. So now my eyes are cleared up, my nasal is cleared up, but my coffee kept going. And so um, she gave me prednisone, and now we're in March for the prednisone. So in February, the eyes and the nose cleared up, but the coughing didn't. So she ran me on 2 weeks of prednisone, and the prednisone for the second week was to come off the prednisone. I waited a week, so now we're in late March uh, before I can let her know that the prednisone didn't work for the coughing. So I continued to take the Ricola for my throat and the over-the-counter cough medicine. And so now I'm in April. So I said, you have to do something because the coughing, not only it gotten bad from level 1 through 5, now I was at a level 8 to 10, to where if I breathe, I coughed. Even when I didn't breathe, I coughed. It didn't matter, I coughed. And with the cough came a sore throat, dry sore throat. My lymph nodes were out there. And I had so much phlegm. I had never coughed up so much phlegm. I had no problem eating. Now, that was weird. The sides of my throat were sore from the coughing. But directly from my esophagus straight down, didn't have a problem. So I was able to eat properly. I did not lose my appetite. I stayed fat like the way I am fat. Anyway, I was able to look over on the internet for some things and try to get rid of that cough. But anyway, moving forward, the doctor put in a referral order for CT scan. So scan came and left. So now I'm in May. Okay. She ordered the scan. It took them 2 weeks to get a hold of me. No, it took me 1 week to get a hold of me. It Took him 3 weeks to schedule me. So now we're in May. So I do the CT scan. Now I look online and I can see the result, but I don't understand the result. So I'm like, where's the doctor? Why isn't the doctor? So I'm emailing the doctor, what's going on? I need the results. Next thing you know, I have a video call from a doctor that was not my primary doctor. So that doctor and I, on a video call, talking about the results from the CT scan. And he goes, we got your CT scan back, and looks like you have a little mass on your left still gets me every time I want to not talk about it, but on your lung, a little mass on your left lung. And I was like, oh. They said we're going to put in a referral for you to come in and get a biopsy on that tumor or the mass. I go, okay. So we were in May. I was already scared to hear the word tumor. But then he just didn't say the word tumor. He said, you have lung cancer. Now, I didn't cry. I was in shock. My mind was going 100,000 miles an hour. I was just thinking, how can I get rid of this? And if I'd have known this news was going to be this bad, I would have had my husband sitting next to me. But I was by myself. Never had news like that in reference to me. So all I could think about, as he was talking, I didn't hear a word he said. All I could think about, how could I get rid of this? He said something. I said, I'm sorry, can you say that again? And so when the video call was over, I just sat, trying to figure out how I can get rid of it. I didn't have room in my head to cry. Couldn't do it. I started to. I did but that was fogging up my thought. I had to focus. I had to figure it out. My husband wasn't that well. I did inform him, but his elevator wasn't going all the way to the top. And ladies and gentlemen, when I say that, it's because he had a series of illness that affected his thought process. So I feel alone in this whole thing. So July came. I went to the hospital for that test. They said, I'm sorry, Mrs. Young, we can't do the biopsy because your oxygen level is 80%. I was in the hospital 7 days. And I had antibiotic IV going 24/7. Normally I'm so inquisitive. I want to know what this is for. That I do not want to know anything. I was still processing. The doctor left the screen up, and I saw sepsis. And that resonated with the antibiotics. I didn't even want to know what else it said. I could have read, and I didn't ask questions. I just let it all happen and still trying to figure out on my own. What else can be done? I was in the hospital for 7 days. They did the biopsy, but they didn't do it on the lung because they said it was too risky. So they did it on the liver. So the next day, the attending physician at the hospital, stated you have a mass on your liver, you have a polyp on your intestine, and you have the mass on your left lung. And she asked me if I wanted to see. In my mind, I'm saying no. When she turns it around, my eyes were already on the monitor, and I'm like, oh. The mass on the liver wasn't that bad. It wasn't that big. There was just a sliver size on the intestine, which I had a colonoscopy after my release from the hospital. I don't know how big the tumor or lung mass. It was probably a little bit more than what was on my liver. I don't know the size. Didn't want to know the size. So I was released from the hospital after my lung. After the day I was released was the day they did the biopsy. I was surprised. No, I'm sorry. This is the next day. I got some things confused. But anyway, on the 7th day I was released, my O2 level was 90. They allowed me to leave because my O2 was 90. I didn't go home with an O2 tank. I did purchase something called Boost on Amazon, but that worked for me. I bought an O2 sensor as well, just to kind of keep everything up. I still couldn't breathe that well. I wasn't sure why my O2 level went down so low. And once I got home, about a week later, I had a referral to an oncologist. Well, I did see her. She put in a lot of orders. She went on vacation. I was going to see her 30 days later. So mid-July, we have the video call. And I did the PET scan, CT scan. I did a lot of blood work. She had me, blood left and right. So on the video call, she told me I had cancer, stage 4. My husband was sitting next to me. And she was, "Are you still there?" And I'm like, "I'm still here." Because I think the only thing she was hearing me saying, like, "Oh, wow." Because I couldn't think about anything else on how to get rid of it. I couldn't even cry. That was, again, I wanted to cry. I was just in awe, like, this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen. And I ended the video call with her, just looking at my husband, gave him a hug. He heard what I heard, but again, with his current situation, I was alone. After that, she ordered chemo pills. I began taking the pills August 12th. Meanwhile, I had my head in dictionaries of medicines and home remedies. I was reading so fast, I was writing down only keywords that mattered, and would look them up and try to figure out everything else. And I will tell you about that on another event. When I was sick originally and was hospitalized, I was 145 pounds. I started losing weight in July of 2024. Didn't know why. It just started peeling off. I went to go put on some fresh clothes after a shower, and underwear just fell to my ankles. What? Oh no, I can't. And then my pants. Same thing. Everything. I have wide feet. My shoes were flip-flops. But they weren't flip-flops. They were flipping and flopping because my feet had gotten skinnier. Yeah. That started in July. I was 168 pounds. So when I was hospitalized, well, let me make it a little easier. In February, I was 155. In July, I was 145. In August, for some crazy reason, it's like my body was telling me, lady, you better feed me. I am so hungry. I think I ate everything in the book. I was eating like 5 meals, small, large, pretty much anything that satisfied me at the time. So in September, I weighed myself, I was 155. I was like, wow. Before then, my skin looked like snake, dried. I could pinch it, it wouldn't retract. Dehydrated. I looked, and I will show you pictures later, like I was 75 years old. Now I'm 64. And I will be 65 in June. And in July, August, September, I looked like I was 75, 80 years old. My skin was dry, crinkled. Looked like my eyes were set in the back of my head. I did not look like the same person. I would look at myself, and then I didn't want to look at myself. I'd be like, see the mirror, I'd throw my eyes down to the floor and look the other way. It wasn't a sight I wanted to see. All I kept saying, I gotta fix this. So I pretty much ate my eyeballs out. I drank a lot of water. And then my sister told me about alkaline. So I started drinking a lot of alkaline water. I'll tell you about more of that later. But I had another video call. Before the video call, I had a infusion for my bones to make my bones stronger, calcium. So every 3 months I would get that done just to make my bones stronger because of the chemo. So the first video call after the chemo, the doctor asked me how was I doing. I told her I was fine. There was no reaction. I didn't feel any different taking the chemos. The second video call, same thing. Feel fine. Don't have any upsets about the chemo pills. So she was giving me my results from having the blood done every 2 weeks because she was watching the markers. And she told me, she said, this was October 1st. Today's October 7th. So 2025. So the video call, she said that your markers says that your tumors are diminishing. I had the biggest smile. Like, come on, music to my ears. Music to my ears, you guys. I didn't get overly excited because I just didn't want to. I will get excited when I'm told it's gone. I'm not gonna be in a happy place until I know that much. Okay? So, but that to me was great news. She said, well, that's just about the diminishing of your tumors. That doesn't say anything about your lung cancer. So we want to do another PET scan. In 4 weeks, we'll have another video. And then on that day, I'll go ahead and order another PET scan to see the results of your lung cancer. So every week, I go get my lungs drained because my lungs is filling up with fluid. Before I was getting my lungs drained, my O2 level would be 90, 92. I've been getting my lungs drained now for a month. 1 month. Oh, month and a half. My O2 level has went up to like 97. Okay, that's good. That was 3 weeks ago. It's October 7th. 3 weeks ago, my O2 level was 97. I still had a hard time breathing. My chest felt heavy, and I was still coughing. And that was still painful. My throat has been through a lot. So just recently, 2.5 weeks ago, they measure when the fluid is coming off your lungs. I'm getting one for the left 1 week, one for the right the next week. So let's say, and this is a true statement, that my left had 750 milliliter of fluid. So 2 weeks later, I go back, it was 400. I said, wow. Because when the fluid's gone, there's no more cancer. Okay? Especially if it's lung cancer. So I said, hallelujah. Man, okay. Let's get that right one done. I want to compare that too. So the right one was 700. Went down to 550. So last week, I had my right one done. Let's put it like that. And 2 weeks ago, it was 600 milliliter. Friday, it was still 600 milliliter. It hasn't moved, which is better than more. So I got to wait another 2 weeks for my right to be done. So when I had my left one done about a week ago, it was 550 milliliter. I believe, yes. I'm a little bit on the confusion side, but it was low. It wasn't where it had been. I'm going to have to get my numbers straight and have this written down. Everything is in my head. I need to release it. It's just, everything's in my head. I'm being very mental about everything I do. Oh, I need to release some of that and put it on paper. So the next time I have my lung drain, it will be the left side. So I'll see what that progress is. If it's less or it didn't move, that's progress. Because when my lungs would fill up, I would be so miserable. My breasts will they'd be plump like I'm breastfeeding. My chest would be heavy like I have a brick on it. My breathing would be so labored to where I have to lift my breast up so I can breathe in. So as we speak, I'm no longer needing to lift my breast to get more air. When I had my lung drain, my right side, my oxygen level was 100. Never been at 100. Never. 99, 100. Never. Always been 97, 98, 97, 98. When I saw 100, yeah, progress. That's why I mentioned there will be more progress, especially after that PET scan. I want to see that progress. But meanwhile, I can breathe deep. My chest isn't heavy. And I'm hungry all the time. As we speak, I'm a 160, 59, 159, 160 pounds. I'm trying to keep it down, as there are a lot of side effects to chemo meds. And that could be one of them, weight gain. But mine is actually the food weight gain. Trust me, I'm greedy. I will eat your food. So this is where we are right now. So I'm going to cut this short and come back for the updated news on my left lung and tell you what that milliliter prior to the upcoming lung fluid removal is going to happen this Friday. So every Friday I have one or the other fluid removed. So this Friday we'll compare it to 2 weeks ago and see what that level is. Progress. I feel good. I'm sore because that's part of the chemo meds. I feel like I've been lifting weights all day, every day. So if I sit too long, if I lay too long, and I get up, every muscle in my body is saying, you need to slow that down. Take one step at a time. Move one finger at a time. Blink one eye at a time. Yeah, so I can do that. That I can do. I can take my time. Time is on my side. That's all I got. That's all I got. So, ladies and gentlemen, please pray for me as this journey is so much needed one, and it's a hard one every day. Every day's a challenge. So my next video, until we have that lung drain, we'll speak about the foods that I'm entertaining and my daily regimen and how I'm entertaining that and how I got to where I'm at. I don't know how I got to where I'm at. All I got to say is I'm willing to share that with you. So hopefully any and everything I have to share, you guys can incorporate it into your life and see if it works for you, because everybody's different. I mean, depends on your situation. So I got garlic all in my throat. I can smell it when I burp. I just burped it. Oh my God. Thank God nobody's sitting next to me. I want to thank you for listening. Thank you for the visit. As my mother-in-law would say, when we be on the phone talking and we can't see each other, we always say thank you for the visit. And we'll get together shortly And hopefully I get everybody to like the views and what you guys heard. And so we'll talk soon. I appreciate everybody, and just wait for the next video on how I've been feeding myself. Thank you. Bye-bye.